Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. My name is John Grimmy. My wife Cindy and I have been associated with Gahanna Soccer from the GSA days all the way through high school for, about the past 20 years. We've been associated with GLHS Soccer for 11, almost 12 contiguous years. Andrew, Ryan, and Christian are our sons, and now we're faced with meeting the empty nester syndrome as Christian goes off to college and the other two boys are out on their own now. But the coaching staff asked me to kind of facilitate this get-together or this celebration. It's a combination of events that we wanted to try to do on a regular basis, almost like a family reunion of sorts with the soccer family from Gahanna Lincoln. Through the years, we've stayed in touch with some families, others we've lost touch with. We've got to see some of the more senior alumni show up today, and we're really pleased to see the current team and the state champ team here join us too, also, as we recognize the 5-year anniversary of that. So instead of a jersey retirement for a very special player or a state championship recognition, I guess let's call this a family reunion today. As we coached as parents in GSA or carpooled to practices and such, we were an extended family. We always keep an eye on the soccer kids as they go out into college and into the professional world, and it's been real special seeing these young men grow in the community, and now they're reaching out to all different parts of the country. So thanks for joining us. We hope we have a real fun time today. There's plenty of snacks still to grab as you want. We also have the alumni game later this afternoon, which should be a lot of fun, and we invite you to join us for that as well. A few special thank yous before we get started with the program, especially for the food spread, Nancy Matney and Rob Matney. Let's give a hand for them. Rob also coordinated the t-shirts for the alumni game, so we're looking forward to the unveiling of those shirts today. Also, Michelle McClurg, she pulled together thousands of pictures from her archives over the years. It's great to see them. Some of them I've lost my account to the Shutterfly account, so it's nice to see some of these pictures from days gone by. So thanks, Michelle, for all your photography and media assistance. She's also taking pictures today, so please be sure to let her capture a moment for us. Also want to thank the organizing members of the committee that pulled this together, the coaching staff, Kyle Zitron, Matt Kovach, Adam Shokri, Jason Harden, and Todd Keenan, and the organization of this whole event. Let's give a hand for them. It's a lot of work to pull this off. We've actually had a few organizing meetings, a lot of emails, and reaching out to folks, so we appreciate all their efforts. Mark Cato, is he here yet? Not yet. He's probably loosening up over on the field. Mark is one of the long-lasting referees in Gahanna Soccer from all the years through. I've known Mark. I've had the privilege to be part of his soccer family. He'll be our honorary referee for the alumni game this afternoon, and we wanted to thank him for that. We also have some folks coming from out of town. We know it's a Sunday event, and folks got to get back and have a long drive today so they can be back at work tomorrow or college or what have you. I know Buffalo, New York, Chicago, Michigan. There's more than just a local presence here. and I want to thank them for working around their schedule to make this more of a family reunion event. So thanks for that. What we also want to do now is start the multimedia part. We're going to recognize the state championship team, and we have a DVD we're going to watch a little bit and try to remember the good old days of probably one of the most memorable evenings I've been associated with over the years down at Crew Stadium on a cool November evening. Show of hands. Who was there that night? All right. In all your travels, I know some of you played collegiately or your kids have. Has people approached you on that night or about that night and talked to you about it? Short story, Ryan was playing in the Liberty League championship up in Rochester, New York against RIT, and bumped into a family of one of the other players from RIT. And I was talking to the mom about what a great player her son was, and after the game and all that. He was a senior, it was his last game, it was kind of a tearful thing. And I said, I hope you don't mind, but I've watched your son play over the years. I think he's a great player. My son played against him when he was playing for St. Ignatius. And the mom says, oh, we remember, my son was one of the ones your son blocked a shot on. And fortunately, that kid scored a goal during that playoff game, so he had a little bit of paybacks for Ryan. But it's quite a great moment. A lot of people talk about it all through the town here in Gahanna and in soccer about what a wonderful night it was. And a lot of that was due to great coaching, the families, the police escort that the kids got to make on the trip into the stadium and that. But the head coach that coordinated all this and helped our kids become a tight family that season was Dwayne Marshall. So Dwayne, would you come up and say a few words?
Thank you. I have a few words a little later, but I do want to say a couple of things about that year, and a lot more I will say. I've written down some stuff. But I thought that Beaver Creek game was probably the best game that we played all season. Would you guys agree with that? I mean, they had one shot on goal the entire game, and to go to the state semifinal and shut a team down like that is just pretty incredible on there. The coach from Beaver Creek said that that was the best soccer team that he's seen in his 25 years of coaching. So a good compliment come from them. Remember, that was back-to-back state semifinals for them on there. So at this time, I'd like to call up the new head coach, Matt Kovac, and the former head coach, Todd Keenan. Come up and help us hand out jerseys. We'd like to honor the state championship team with the jersey that they wore on the field that night at Crew Stadium. Theirs to keep forever. Yeah, if the players in here and the parents here, please come up and pick up the jersey. Jersey number 1 was Sean Chadbourne. Wearing number 2 is Trevor Gates. Wearing number 3 was Ben Wickoff. And his parents are here.
Hey Ben, you've gotten a little bald.
Hey, let's not talk about balding. Number 4 was Stephen Kropak. Number 5, from Atlanta, Georgia now, Chris Davis. Wearing jersey number 6 was Scott Chadbourne. Number 7 was Saad Abdul Salam. I know Saad is playing on the University of Akron team, and they will be playing Ohio State September 24th. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So hopefully we can get a good Gahanna contingent down there for the game. Number 8 was Sean Lips. Number 9 was Christian Conti. Where number 10 was Zach McLaurin. Where number 11 was Andrew Burson. Number 12 was John Grooms. Where number 14, Cody Papalis. Number 15 was Ethan Ginty. Where number 16 was Tyler Woolham. Where number 17 was Ben Cornali. I know little brother's here, he can come up and take it. You can hold it for a ransom for him. Number 18 was Austin Matney. Number 19 was TJ Twig. Number 20 was Will Trapp. Number 21 was Tyler Cooper. And our goalies were getting number 22 was Ryan Grimmy. And I do want to comment that year, Ryan Grimmy, I don't know if you know this or not, but made the Sports Illustrated as one of the players of the year. So number 23, Jacob Rice. And we also want to mention these players and give them a nice round of applause for also participating on the team that year. Is Andrew Lightheart. Is Andrew here? I know he's here. You can stand up, be recognized. Fraser Fernandez. Fraser here. Nathan Flowers. I think that's all Nathan here. And David Wickoff. I'm sorry, Max, where are you? All right. I'm sorry, it wasn't on my list here, but it's probably a number of people's fault. I'll take the blame for it. I apologize. Couple things to say. I'm getting older too, so I'm going to put my glasses on. So now I won't be able to see you guys, but I can see what I wrote down. The soccer program here at Gahanna is a well-respected program around the state. because of the commitment of parents, the community, the administration, coaches, and most of all, you, the players. All the players in this room and those who could not make it today are responsible for the strong foundation that has turned this program into one of the elite programs in the state, if not the nation. From the time, little history here, from the time where parents and players had to threaten a lawsuit. Some of you guys don't remember this, some of the older players do. Threaten a lawsuit just to play on the football field and have a night game. To the times where we only played at Middle School South. How many guys were here that only played at Middle School South for day games, 5:30 games? I kind of liked it. I got home by 9:30. From the times we were awarded to only being allowed to play 2 games a season on the football field, excluding playoffs. Only allowed 2 games in the stadium. Never mind the narrowness of the field and playing in with those heavy metal homemade goals. Some of the older players, some of the younger players should be thankful, don't complain about lifting goals. We had those heavy goals. You guys remember those? They had to be a symbol for each match. To a time when we were allowed to help with choosing a turf field, and from now on every varsity game was going to be played at night in the stadium. And I personally want to thank Justin Stanford, who was the best. I worked for a number of ADs, and Justin, you were the best AD that I ever worked for because you supported our program. And appreciate being a part of that and getting in that stadium, because before then we felt we were treated like second-class citizens, and we knew that with Justin around we were first class. The foundation now has a strong house that has built a winner of 12 OCC championships, including a current win streak of 10. How about a hand clap for that? 10 straight years. If you're an OCC champ, stand up. If you were an OCC champ, stand up. How about that? Five district championships. If you were a district champion, stand up. One regional championship. Sit down, because I know you think it's coming next, but it's not. And this program has had not one, but 2 players play on the MLS teams. How about that? Not too many schools can say that. Seth Stamler was captain of the New York Red Bulls, and then Will Trapp is a captain of the Columbus Crew. So, and of course, a 2009 state championship. A state championship, that didn't come easy. People think, you know, end result, you watch the videos, it was great season. It was a great season. But this team had to show a lot of character throughout the season. Many people looked at that season and just focused on the end result. I choose to focus on the long road it took, because this road built your character that paid off in becoming a state champion. We started with some key players making bad choices, which resulted in some suspensions. Low partying. We lost a starter defender for most of the season, and Mr. Burson had to step in and did a wonderful job. 26 players, 26, were out at some time with the swine flu. In fact, we had to postpone a game because we did not have enough healthy players to put on the field. And then we had that tie against a team that we had no business tying with. Then a player got called up to national team tryouts, and he was gone for over a week, and he came back a little nicked up. You know, so I mean, this was a road. But through it all, and this is where I give them, this is where character is built. They didn't complain, they didn't make excuses. It'd have been easy. I mean, there was a game we were missing 6 starters against the Westerville North. We were missing 6 starters. Most teams would have packed it in. But this team kept winning. They kept fighting. Through all of this, we stayed together and we stayed focused, and it paid off. Not only did the team go 22-0-1, they allowed, and this is what I'm most proud of, they allowed only 4 goals that season. How about a hand for that? They finished number 2 in the nation and were the only school to defeat St. Ignatius in a state final. St. Ignatius has 5 state championships. They were trying to get 6, didn't happen. And this team was ranked number 1 in the nation. To the players that are now part of this program, to young players I see with those nice training jerseys on, those are sweet. I want to challenge you to not only carry on a tradition of winning, but more importantly, carry on a tradition of character. As Tony Dungy, and some of you guys might remember him as the Super Bowl winning coach of the Indianapolis Colts, he said there are 3 goals that you need to live with. Actually, 13 goals that you need to live with. 3 would be easy to remember, but I got 13 for you. 1 is remember that what you do when no one is watching matters. The team matters as much as the ends, if not more. Hang in there. Character is revealed through adversity, as this state championship team did. Often we grow as much through the little things as we do through the big things. Truth is critical. Being truthful is too. Don't rationalize your way around honesty. Don't blow your own horn. Don't be falsely modest. You have amazing gifts. Just recognize that others do too. You are important, but not indispensable. The same goes for others. See yourself as a significant part of the process. Be careful what you do with your resources, gifts, time, and talents. You've been entrusted with them. Some of the most rewarding times in life are when you have to stand alone, even if you are uncomfortable doing so. Life is hard. Courage is essential. And the last one, and I leave you with this, is never give up. Never give up. Thank you.
Next, we'd like to have someone I know for about 22 years, Ryan Grimmy, come up and share a few thoughts on the championship and what it's like to be part of the Gahanna Lincoln program.
All right, so Coach Marshall's obviously going to be very difficult to follow up, so I'll do my best. I first want to thank all the coaches, Adam, all the parents that helped put this together. A lot of us don't get to see each other as often as we would like, but it's enjoyable, so thank you for that. So one thing I really want to hit on that we haven't covered are the teams that came before us. For me going in as a freshman, we all knew how good the team was that were the seniors. You know, they were ranked number 1 in the state. They were supposed to win the states. You know, most freshmen come in thinking that they're God's gift to the world, and that's not always true, myself included. But it was an incredible experience to get to learn and grow with them throughout that season. They set the bar extremely high for us. We all knew that that's exactly where we wanted to be when we were seniors. And the 2 years between that were difficult. You know, we lost in double overtime, and then we lost in penalty kicks. And you know, but it was a constant process that we all wanted to be the best, and we were willing to work together to be the best. And that's something that we'll take with us wherever we go. But we can always look back on those 4 years together as really achieving everything we set out to do. In addition, you know, we had an incredible coaching staff from Coach Marshall to Coach Keenan, who coached us when we were younger. You know, not many coaches would support us the way they did. They wanted us to do well, you know, on the soccer field and off. I wouldn't be where I was without soccer. So, you know, thank you for that as well. And then to the teammates. Obviously, we all grew up. Will and Tyler can attest to how much the Gahanna-Arsenal CISA rivalry was one to remember. Particularly a state game that Will was not the happiest with us about. But, you know, we were all lucky enough to come in with those seniors and really come together as a team. And then, you know, coming in our senior year, getting players like Chris and like Will was icing on the cake, and it was an experience that I'll never forget. So, thank you for coming.
I won't talk as long as time, I promise. Ready? Thank Mrs. McClure for this wonderful picture. How about that? Nice job. Will Trapp played for Gahanna in both his junior and senior years. His remarkable play, and even better, his character helped raise the level of this program. Mr. and Mrs. Trapp, I want to thank you for raising such an outstanding young man with outstanding character. How about that for parents, please? He has never forgotten his hometown, his friends, and his coaches. He always finding a way to give back, including his willingness to help coach the varsity team this year. Will has been an impact player in all levels of play, rather high school, club, college, the national team, and of course the Columbus Crew. But I want to focus on his high school career. Will, would you come up? His teams won 2 OCC championships, 2 district championships, 1 runner-up regional, 1 regional championship, 1 state championship. His teams are ranked number 2 in the nation by ESPN Rise, number 5 in the nation. At one point, we were the number 1 team in the nation. The team also won the High School Sportsmanship Award. In 2009 and 2010, the NSCAA All-Academic Team. We did it all, one on the field and in the classroom. Will's teams had a one-loss record of 41, 1, and 2. How about that? His individual was 19 goals, 15 assists. He was captain in 2009 and 2010. He won the coach's MVP in 2009. In 2010, he won the player's MVP. He was 2009-2010 first team All-OCC. He was OCC Player of the Year in both 2009 and 2010. He was first team All-State in 2009 and 2010. And he is the only Super 12 captain 2 years in a row in 2009 and 2010. He was All-American in both those years. In 2010, he was Mr. Soccer All-Ohio. In 2009 and 2010, he was Gatorade Ohio Soccer Player of the Year. In 2010, he was High School Player Sportsmanship Scholarship winner. He was Parade All-American in 2010. Am I embarrassing you? No. Okay, good. You deserved it. You weren't mean to people. Okay, except for the guy that you hit in the head with the ball. But that was 2009. You won this in 2010. So you improved. You raised the bar. So in 2010 he was, and this is a huge, in 2010 he was NSCAA National Player of the Year. Well, because of your accomplishments and the class character that you've always shown, it is my pleasure to present you with your jersey and hereby retire your number 20 to never be worn again by a player on the soccer team here at Gahanna-Lincoln High School.
Thank you, appreciate that. I want to start by saying that what an honor it is to stand up in front of you guys and to have my jersey retired is something that I could have never dreamed of. But I owe a lot to these guys sitting in front of you, those guys back there. You're nothing without your teammates in this game. It's an 11-man sport, so every time you step on the field, it's bigger than one guy. So we can put up all this individual stuff, but really at the end of the day, it's you guys that made this happen, and I thank you for that. I want to thank Justin Sanford and the athletic program here at Gahanna for all the support, faith, and resources you put into the program. Most D1 programs don't have all the support that you guys put into the soccer program here, and it's paying off. So thank you for that. The coaching staff. Sorry for being a headache sometimes, but I appreciate everything you guys did. Coach Marshall, Coach Keenan, and the rest of the staff. You really do a great job of developing young male athletes as well as just good people overall. So thank you for that. Once again to you guys, every single one of you, I look back and that November day in 2009 is something that we'll never forget. And I'm glad I get to share it with you guys. And lastly, to my family, where would I be without you? Thank you so much for always keeping my head on straight and letting me stray away sometimes, but knocking me back into place when I need to be. So once again, thank you all for coming. Let's enjoy this day and the company within each other, and thank you once again.
Thanks, Will. Now I'd like to wrap up the program here with a couple closing remarks from our athletic director, Justin Sanford, who's helped support us, as you've heard many times today already, about the programs of the past as well as building for the future with the current team and the teams to come. So Justin, would you please?
Wait for my slide. I don't have a slideshow for me. No? All right. Thanks, Todd. Before I get into talking about the team and you know what this soccer program I think truly means, at least to me in our athletic department, a couple housekeeping rules. Trish Twig and Sharon Tomko, both former soccer parents here in our program, took over a great responsibility and role in our district, our outreach coordinators, and they are creating what we've never had before in terms of an alumni association. So I have some information sheets specifically for our alumni players. There's a bunch of you here, and parents that may have played or graduated from Gahanna Lincoln in the past. If you could just simply sign these sheets, fill these sheets out so they can create a database, it would be a great way for us to continue to spread the news and share the stories about what's going on here currently. Also, if and when you're preparing your 10 and 20 and, as Rob Matney's case, 50-year class reunions, they have a database already established here for us to help you guys out. It's an honor for me to get an opportunity to, I guess, close this celebration out. And before I talk about the 2009 team and this soccer program, let me just share a few things for Will. And as I'm talking to Will, I'm handing him a shin guard and a magic marker. And really, I wrote some things down, typed some things into my phone on what I was going to say about Will and what he means to our soccer program, what he means to the community, and how proud I am of sitting at the Crew Stadium last night and watching a soccer game, and when they're introducing the starting lineups, and it says, from Gahanna, Ohio, Will Trapp. You get goosebumps. If you are from Gahanna, you get goosebumps. Me, I had goosebumps all up and down my body when it said, from Gahanna, Ohio, Will. It was a lot louder last night. But to me, the special things about Will, obviously all of these accolades that are on there, and we have a number of individuals and athletes that have come and gone through Gahanna, both from the soccer program and a number of programs that we had that were successful and went on to the next level, and some playing in the NFL, and obviously Will playing in the MLS. But for me, just watching him, his hard work, his dedication, his character that so many people talked about already, his drive, his humility. He's that good and he knows it, but he's so humble. And for me, one of the most impressive things is, I think, as parents sitting in the stands, if you can have your kids role model and you could pick them out, you want to be able to pick them out and say, I want my son or my daughter to have this person as a role model. When my son brings his shin guard to me and says, are you going to see Will Trapp? Will you get him to sign my shin guard? I don't have to say any more about Will Trapp, because that's what we want our kids to be. That's who we want our kids to role model themselves after. So Will, thank you for that. And you have a lot to live up to, and I will be watching you now on the sidelines. As a coach of our program, so and the sportsmanship thing, I've got a chuckle out of it, because you're like one yellow card away from a 1-game suspension in the MLS. So, you know, I don't know, but it's all in good fun. Well, I was interviewing 12 years ago for this job at Gahanna, and I went through about 7 rounds of interviews. Maybe you were on some of the panels, some of you may have been. There seemed like there was 100 people interviewing me. I truly believe Mr. Morris and Mr. White at the time didn't want to give me the job because I was this young guy, and they just said, well, let's go through another round and see if he's going to fall on his face. And eventually they offered me the position. At about 10:30, I was living over in Woodside Green, and I went home, was talking to my wife, and so I think it went well. I don't know, it was round 7. At the phone call, I took my suit off, and the phone rings, and Mr. Morris is on the other line. He says, mind you, it's 10:30 at night, can you come into my office? Oh, okay. So suit went back on, and I flew over to central office, and I sat down with Mr. White and Mr. Morris, and obviously they offered me the job. But in that conversation, I remember it, in that conversation I told them, this is a diamond in the rough. Gahanna's a diamond in the rough. That it only takes one. It's going to take one team, one program, to go from where we were Because if you do a little history, Gahanna Lincoln has won conference championships dating all the way back to the 1950s. But up until from 1950s all the way to 2003, they had won 74 conference championships in that 50 plus years of time. I was blessed with the opportunity to take over this program, the athletic program at Gahanna in 2003, and since that time we won 57 conference championships. So in a short year, maybe two, hopefully a year, we're going to surpass the mark of all of history of what Gahanna Lincoln athletic programs have done. We're going to eclipse that 74 championship mark. But when I had that conversation with them, I said, it only takes one. It takes one team, it takes one program, and it will take this program, the whole athletic program, to new heights. This soccer program is on their 10th consecutive OCC championship in those 12 years that I've been here, under great leadership, from Coach Marshall to Coach Keenan to now Coach Kovac. Great parents, parents that understand the expectation and what it takes to be successful, both in soccer, outside of soccer, in school, outside of school, and great players. Great players who are taught and learn from their parents on what those expectations are, the right way to do it, the character that it takes. All of you, everybody in this room, is a part of those championships. Not just the guys that put on the uniform, not just the coaches that stand on the sideline. Every parent. The Ohio High School Athletic Association, Dr. Dan Ross still talks to me about that game in 2009, on how the community of Gahanna showed up to the upper deck in our section, all the way to the top in blue and gold supporting that team. Was it a memorable night, Mr. Grimmy? Absolutely. You didn't have to show the highlight film for me to remember everything that went on. And I know John's not here, but his dad was there going, man, he had a chance to be a hero right there. I remember that too. That would have saved my heart about 10 years from going into double overtime and shootouts. It was a memorable thing. And what I said is this: it took one team. We won a state championship in 2009 in track. And I love track and field. We won a state championship. Gahanna Lincoln won a state championship in track in 1979. But never, in 1979 and the years that came after, in 2009, in the spring when we won a state championship, did it ignite a flame of expectations for all of our programs like this team did. It took this soccer team to ignite the flame. It took this soccer team state championship for our basketball programs to believe that we can do it too. For our softball programs and our baseball programs, it took this team to do what they did for everybody in this school and in this community to believe we can do it too. It only takes one team. So for me, I want to thank you. Because what I said back in 2003, I truly believed it. And you guys are living proof. In our programs in Gahanna Lincoln, as we continue to strive and continue to thrive, in my humble opinion, it's because of what you did in 2009. You led this change, a culture change. You changed the culture of our school, and you changed the culture of our community. And I thank you for that. Thank you very much, and have a great day.